Please get ready for a dictation of part 2 of the address by the President of India on the occasion of commemoration of the centenary celebrations of the Madras Legislative Council at Chennai on August 2, 2021, beginning from para 8 onwards. 5 seconds. Start. He started his political career right in his early teenage years when India was still fighting for freedom, and he left us only recently when, as a young boy fired by ideals, he had started working for the downtrodden. India was in the shackles, exploited under foreign rule for long years, stricken by poverty and illiteracy. When he breathed his last, he must have been satisfied that this land and its people had made astounding progress and development on all fronts. He must have been satisfied too, as he spent every waking hour of his long and productive life in the service of the people, of the state, and also of the nation. What can I say about his contributions to Tamil literature and cinema? What I know is that there are very few political leaders who are so passionate about language. For him, his mother tongue was the object of worship. Tamil, of course, is one of the greatest and the oldest languages of humankind. The whole world takes pride in its rich heritage. But it was Karunanidhi who ensured that it was granted official recognition as a classical language. He was a leader in a class of his own. He was among the last links we had with the stalwarts of our national movement. Ladies and gentlemen, it is to those stalwarts that my thoughts go as the nation celebrates the 75th anniversary of independence. Our national movement spans from 1857 or even before to 1947. During these decades, there were radicals and revolutionaries. There were pacifists and constitutionalists. They had different methods and they had different visions, but they were united in their reverence for the motherland. Each in his or her own way strove to serve Bharat Mata. Like different tributaries coming together in a river, they all came together for the cause of national independence. They found a confluence in Gandhiji. Mahatma Gandhi not only personified all that was best in our culture and tradition, but he also improved upon the ideas of several Western thinkers. Alongside him was a legion of patriots, lawyers, scholars, social reformers, religious and spiritual leaders, and others. Each of them was matchless. Think of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, such a towering genius and such a visionary. But for each name written in history books, there were countless others whose names were never recorded. They sacrificed comforts, even careers, and sometimes their lives so that we could live in a free nation. Those few decades, I believe, produced some of the greatest generations ever seen on the face of earth. To them, this country will ever remain in debt. To them, the only tribute we can pay is to be continuously inspired by their lives and their ideals. They gave us the gift of freedom, but they also gave us responsibility. Their vision has been taking shape, but it is an ongoing process. Just as they each played their own part, we each have to play our part in taking the nation to new heights. I urge the youth, especially, to continuously engage with the past in order to understand the present and progress in the future. In the lives of Mahatma Gandhi, Subramania Bharati, and others, you will find answers to questions that are arising in your minds. I find that the young generation is more and more interested in our recent history. They give me the hope that the work that began with the known and unknown freedom fighters will continue. That India, with its wisdom, will show the way to the world in this century. Ladies and gentlemen, I congratulate the people of Tamil Nadu on this auspicious occasion. My best wishes to all of you. Thank you. Jai Hind.